Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be reviewing a Stephen King novel called Firestarter. And as you can see, this is like the particular version I have of it right here. Firestarter. Well, this right here, this is actually I know I haven't been like reading them in a while. Actually, I decided to take like a break, cause I still have plans to actually go through like Stephen King novels, but I know it has been like a while since I had read one. Cause if I'm not mistaken, I think the last one I actually read, yeah, was The Dead Zone, which was pretty good. But this particular Stephen King novel right here, known as Firestarter, I was kind of disappointed in this one. I thought it was okay. And I know they have like an actual like movie adaptation of it too as well, with like Drew Barrymore as like the protagonist, where like the kind of like the star of the book known as Charlie McGee. But well, actually I think her whole name was actually Charlize, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and actually her name is Charlene McGee. Well, the book itself it opens with like this man, like I think he's kind of youngish, and his like daughter, and they're on the run from this group of like people known as I guess you could say like they're from like this the shop. They call the company basically like the shop, and the shop actually deals with like making drugs that kind of give people like special like abilities. It's like Andy, he actually volunteered for this experiment, and it's told like through flashbacks that he had volunteered for an experiment. Andy McGee, who is the father of Charlene, Charlie McGee, he had volunteered for an experiment. I think during like his college years, and and that's where he also met his wife too, known as Vicky, like who becomes his future wife. They both volunteered for this experiment known as I think Lot 6. So like the Lot 6 experiment gave them like special abilities, like what is like telekinesis or like pyrokinesis, and that's what Charlene has, like it's pyrokinesis. She's actually able to like make flames or like fire a star from out of nowhere, which is kind of an interesting and cool concept. But Andy himself, he has like telekinesis basically, where he actually can like actually control people. Well, I don't know. I think telekinesis when you actually are able to actually like make objects like lift and move around and so that. But he's actually able to control people's thoughts. He can tell you what to do, almost like the Force. From like Star Wars, he could say like, I want you to do this or I want you to do that, and the person to do it. That was like his ability. But like his wife, she had something too. I forgot what it was, like Vicky. But they actually gave birth to a child known as Charlene, who is actually like the main star of the story. And Charlene has the power of she was like born for pyrokinesis, so she actually can make flames and stuff like that. So the book deals with Charlene. I mean, well, you could say Charlie called like what Steve is calling her Charlie throughout the whole story. It deals with like Charlie and her father Andy on the run from like this group called the shop basically. Where the Lot 6 experiments were like done, whatever, because they want to get Charlie and Andy back, under their control so they can keep them, and stuff like that. So yeah, like Charlie and Andy, they on the run throughout the whole story, basically. That's what it's about. They're trying to get away from the group known as the shop, basically. But other than that, it's like I didn't really think that it's just like, what I'm saying, like the way it started, I thought they would be kind of on the run throughout the whole, I won't spoil it, but I thought they would be on the run throughout the whole story, but eventually they do go back to the shop, the organization known as the shop. So they eventually do go back to them. But other than that, I didn't really think, and that it just doesn't really like take off. You get to see moments of like Charlie using her pyrokinesis, like there's like two major events that happen in the story, like there was like very destructive, and they're kind of cool. I mean, they're like far fetched, kind of like how Stephen King's like his novels do be, they kind of like it's too much, but still was kind of cool. Like it was like an incident where they're at the farm and the organization shows up to apprehend Andy and Charlie, then like all kind of chaos erupts where like Charlie causes like flames and fires everywhere, like destroying like the farm. Now that was kind of like definitely like a graphic scene in the novel. And then plus there's also like the climactic scene at towards the end of the film that's like very destructive, and it actually goes through the farm sequence where like Charlie's causing like I think like the water to boil and burn people up, the animals and dogs and the horses and all kind of like chaos going on, because she got angry at one point. But other than that, it's like it doesn't really like take off. And you also have like other characters in the film too, like you have like like I guess you could say like John Rainbird is kind of like the main, like I guess like villain kind of, and he's like this like wounded like Vietnam veteran, you know. His eye got like blown out from like an explosion or something like that, so his face is like partly damaged, you know, like one of his eyes is missing, and he has like a patch over, you know. So he's in the story throughout the story, but it's like his character doesn't really like fit with like Charlie or Andy. It's like it doesn't like it just seems like it's too far fetched and don't really fit for the story, from my opinion. You know, the idea that he was and he's an Indian too. He's like supposed like an Indian, you know, and he was like wounded in Vietnam, his eyes blown out and stuff like that. But it's like it just doesn't like really fit what's going on with the story, you know. But I could tell that there's some kind of like hidden connection between him and Charlie, you know, that I think Steve was kind of hinting at, you know, in his writing, you know. And then other than that, you have like you have a couple other characters like Dr. Wallace, you know, and he's not there that long, you know, like Dr. Wallace, and I think he was one that actually did the experiments. You know, he's part of the group that originally did the experiments on Andy, you know, at the beginning, and Vicky, you know, they gave him their special abilities and stuff like that. Then you have this is the other main character, kind of this kind of, you can say they're the villains, you know, but they're not really like that, you know. Like you have Captain Hollister, and he is actually known as Cap. That's what Steve has always called him throughout this book, is Cap, you know. And he's like another major part of the story too as well, you know. And you have people that come up into it as well, you know. But those really are really it. You have like Andy and you have Charlie, and Charlie is really like the bulk and main thing of the book, you know, of the story, you know, because she can create flames and fires, and her ability, of course, is pyrokinesis, you know. But other than that, I thought it was okay, you know. It just didn't really, from my opinion, as far as like Stephen King novels go, it kind of is running on the level like how the Night Shift was. I wasn't really too big of a fan of the Night Shift novel, you know, but I guess other ones that I've read so far, like Carrie, Salem's Lot, you know, The Shining, The Stand, and The Dead Zone, now all those are pretty good reads, but I didn't really enjoy the Night Shift story too much, so even like this one, I didn't really, you know, I thought it just didn't really take off like a lot of like it just didn't really like take off for me. At times it just, you know, certain things about it just didn't fit, and you could tell like all this was added in or thrown in just like to make it longer, basically, from my opinion, you know. But in the end, I know they have like an adaptation, like a film adaptation with Drew Barrymore in the role of Charlie. So, you know, I may eventually get out a try, you know. I may watch that eventually one day, you know. 'Cause I don't think I have ever seen. I've seen like clips of it, but I never actually have watched the movie in full, you know. But in Stephen King's Firestarter, I'd be giving this a C. I thought it was okay. Like I say, you know, I guess I recommend it for like, you know, fans of the genre, like Stephen King novels. You know, I guess you can go and give it a try. You know, but I just didn't really it didn't really take off for me. I didn't really enjoy it too much. You know, so yeah, I'm aiming at a C for Firestarter. This is my review. All right.